Hola amigos, welcome to the channel of Exam Charcha. I'm Dr. Rito Upadhyay and today I have the AIR-1 of CLAT 2025 with us. He has shared his experiences, his strategies, the top 5 tips for CLAT students and everything you need to know that will help you to prepare like a topper, or who knows, you can be the next topper. So, to like the video, subscribe the channel, and let's dive into the interview. Hi, Saksham.
Hello, ma'am.
Congratulations on AIR-1.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
So, how are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. How about you? Sure,
So,
ma'am.
are you the first generation lawyer in your family?
Yes, ma'am. You could say that. I have a cousin doing law from MNLU Aurangabad, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm the first generation in my family.
Okay. So, how you come around the CLAT? Why CLAT? Why law?
Ma'am, I have a family background in science, mainly engineering. My father and my elder brother both are engineers. So I had a predisposition towards sciences in my earlier classes, but when I came around classes sixth and seventh, I started developing an interest in social sciences and English. So
Okay.
I had to choose a field of work within that domain, and law came out to be an interesting field. That's when I switched to
That's
for CLAT.
okay. That's good. So, when did you start preparing for CLAT 2025?
I'm in class 11th. I think that was year 2023.
2023 it is.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your daily schedule? Were you in you were in school, right? That time.
Yes, ma'am. I'm still in school. I'm yet to appear for my board exams.
Okay. So did you do the dummy thing?
No, ma'am. I had a full-fledged school and I managed both school and CLAT alongside.
Okay. So your school was supportive as well.
Yes, ma'am. They were very supportive in the sense they provided the resources I needed sometimes and also the support that I needed in the terms of attendance leniency sometimes
So
when
who
I had to go
supported
for boards.
you during all this in your family?
Then the main pillar in this was my father and my elder brother. And my mother was always there in the background playing her part. But my father had a very active role in my preparation. So I'm very grateful to him. Had it not been for him, I would never have been able to do this.
Okay, and Saksham. So what part of the CLAT you found out that it is difficult and you have to focus on that other than any other subject?
The sections which I found difficult or challenging for me particularly were logical reasoning and general knowledge. General knowledge because it is a very vast section. No matter how much you do, there's always something that remains undone. Also, sometimes backlogs would pile up and it would get very hectic. So, general knowledge was one such section, and logical reasoning was the other section. I initially had very problems in that section. I couldn't attempt the section in its entirety, or even if I did, my accuracy would be low. So, I had to work on it separately.
We had interviewed Anirudh, the AIR-2
Hmm,
recently, and he told us the same thing that he found out the general knowledge a little bit tough
yeah,
because it is a
exactly.
very vast subject, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you don't
That's a
know that.
universal problem for all
Yeah,
aspirants, I think.
I know. So, what do you suggest to the aspirants of 2026,
Ma'am, the sole piece of
particularly for this subject for general knowledge? What do you suggest? How
yes, ma'am.
should
The
they
sole piece
prepare?
of advice is do not let backlogs accumulate because you won't realize and it will get to such a point that the backlogs will become insurmountable. You will not be able to complete them and you will be in a limbo whether to go forward or to cover what you have left behind. Stick to your daily GK schedules and be very thorough with it. Revision is the key in GK, so limit your resources and complete them.
Okay, so you two suggest that consistency is the key,
Exactly, especially in GK.
especially in GK. So, what you used to do to remember some particular, names of ancient history people or the dates? So, do you used to know use that sticky notes in front of your table on
Sometimes,
the
ma'am.
wall?
Sometimes I used to use sticky notes for topics that I had to complete. I used to note them down on sticky notes and put them on my table so I'd remember them. As for the names and dates, I used to maintain notes for such topics, and I would go through them once in a week or once in a fortnight. So I'd be in touch with them.
Are these sticky notes helpful?
I mean, if you can manage to do things. Without them, they're not really an essential thing. But if you can't remember things like me, if you have a lot on your plate, sticky notes are definitely helpful.
Okay. And how you think that how important are mock tests, previous year's questions?
Mock tests played a very important role in this journey because there's no use preparing for the exam if you don't know how you're going to perform. You might learn the tricks and techniques, but the application part is what matters on the exam day. Nobody will ask you what all have you studied. Everybody will see what you apply in the exam that day. So mock tests are very essential. That should be high up on any CLAT aspirant's priority list. And as per previous year questions, they help you get a hold of the type of questions consortium likes to ask, what kind of paper we might encounter. So yeah, they're pretty important in the journey.
So it gives you the experience, right? That how you
Exactly.
have to attempt the question paper in the exam.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Saksham, what made you do the, choose the particular this field? Apart from,
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
like you said earlier, that in sixth or seventh you developed an interest. Is
Exactly.
there any particular inspiration, a person, or a particular field, something like that?
Now, apart from my interest in social sciences, I have an active interest in politics, and I've seen a lot of towering law figures excelling in the field of politics. Like the very basis of our nation was laid down by lawyers in the Constituent Assembly. First Prime Minister Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru himself was a lawyer. So my 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 motive in this field is to return to the society, maybe not in a very uh, NGO type or charitable way, but in this policy sense, like I'll contribute to the society positively by affecting the policy decisions of the government. And to do that, I think law will be a perfect field for me.
That's a great perspective of yours. So, as I told you that we recently interviewed Anirudh as well, and he
Yes, ma'am.
emphasized on mock analysis. So, what's
Exactly, ma'am.
your perspective on that? What do you suggest?
Ma'am, I strongly agree with him because, again, giving mock tests is a separate thing, but analyzing them is an activity which I think holds even more importance than attempting those mocks. Just attempting the mocks and forgetting about them won't serve you any purpose except for helping you sit for those 2 hours. If you don't analyze what you have done right, what you have done wrong, what was a fluke and what was not a fluke, I don't think mocks will be of any help to you. So I'll tell you my case. Initially, I used to devote more time to mock analysis than I used to give the mocks for. Like mocks are for 2 hours, but analysis would sometimes stretch to 3 to 4 hours because analysis helps you grasp where you really stand in your preparation.
Yeah,
So
I
I
get
think
the point.
analysis is very important.
Okay. So, what during your mock analysis and all of that, what was your strategy of analyzing your mock test?
First of all, ma'am, uh, just after the mock test, I would jot down my takeaways from today's mock test. Like I would write down somewhere whether I was distracted during the mock, what I think I have messed up, what I think I could have done better, my time management strategy. I would note those things down, very crude and first impressions just after the mock. Then, when I would finally sit down for the mock analysis, I would first go to the questions I couldn't attempt during those 2 hours. I would attempt them in a timed manner, and then I would check which answers were correct or which were wrong. Those answers which were wrong, I wouldn't see the correct answer and reattempt them without seeing the correct answer to see if I get them correct this time. And after that, I would tally my answers with the answer key and the explanation given therein. And I would analyze my mistakes and I would try to find patterns therein. What kind of questions am I getting wrong regularly? What kind of questions I'm getting right due to flukes? So, yeah, that was my strategy during mock exams.
What was your lowest score in your mocks?
It was it was an initial score of I think 45, 45.5, if I remember correctly.
45.5. And how did you boost yourself from that?
That is definitely very soul-crushing and depressing for any aspirant to get low scores in mocks. But over time, when I talk to my teachers, mentors, my father, my brother, I realized that this is a common phenomenon for all the aspirants. This is not something that is happening just with you, and it is a part of the journey. And a thought that I developed towards the end of my journey to tackle the situation was, अगर मेरा स्कोर 45 है तो मैं यहाँ से सिर्फ ऊपर ही जाऊंगा, यहाँ से नीचे नहीं जा सकता. I'm in the worst place possible right now, so only good times lie ahead. Nothing worse is possible, and that was true in my case. Mock scores would gradually go up and up.
Can an aspirant do clear the CLAT without the coaching? What do you think? You
Mm,
had coaching classes, I know that, but what's your perspective on this? Can an aspirant do that?
My frank perspective is seeing the paper patterns since the past 2 years. An aspirant can clear this exam without coaching. That is possible, and that is a very real possibility. But the only drawback he or she might have is that the resources are very scattered and they might not have a very guided approach towards the exam. For that, I think coaching comes in handy in that place. But preparation for the exam can be done without coaching.
Okay. So we you talked about the cope up thing, right? That aspirant needs to cope up with the marks, keep you motivated every time. So in the moments of your self doubt, what were your ways to keep yourself motivated?
I would talk to my teachers, mentors, and parents. I've already talked about that. So that was one aspect. I would introspect. I would sit down and see what exactly was not going right in my marks. Where exactly was I making more and more mistakes? If that was a particular section, I would hold on to it and tackle it. If that was a particular type of question, I would practice it thoroughly till I started getting my accuracy in that part. Also, in cases of feeling demotivated or depressed or dejected, personally, I had a very good walkout from that sense. I used to go to the temple at my house. I would sit down, close everything, close all the external disturbances and noises for close to half an hour, and just sit down there and focus, or you could say meditate. That used to give me a lot of peace in those times because if nobody was with me, my God will be with me. That gave me hope through my preparation, throughout my preparation.
So you suggest the same for the other aspirants who are preparing for 2026?
Everybody has their own ways to cope up with stress. So what works out the best for you might not work out for somebody else, but sitting down and analyzing the mistakes should be a universal thing because it does help. Also, talking to your teachers and parents is the panacea for all such problems. Trust me, speak to people and it will definitely help you.
So communication. You suggest
Exactly, man.
communication is the key,
Exactly,
right?
man. Keeping it to
People of
yourself
your
can get very suffocating.
Yeah, I understand that. Saksham, people in your generation, have don't have that mental stability to cope up with so much stress these days because of the Instagrams, because of the other social
Exactly, man.
media things. So how you kept yourself away from all that?
Being a very conventional part of the generation, I too was, you could say, an addict of this social media bubble. I had my own problems with this YouTube and talking to friends on WhatsApp, chatting and all. That was a very big disturbance in my preparation during the earlier phase. And what worked out for me is that I realized it quickly that this is very wrong and it could mess up my preparation in the worst way possible. So I talked to people again. I tried to solve it at my level, and when I couldn't, I went to the higher level to the teachers and my parents, and I totally cut off from social media. It was tough during the initial days being away from social media after having been exposed to it so much, but over time I got used to it. I got used to radio silence, I would say. No social media, no notifications. I wouldn't say I was totally cut off. I still had WhatsApp on my phone for essential communication, but largely no social media was there in my preparation, especially in the last 5 to 6 months. I had completely cut off.
Did it affect your preparation in
Yes,
a
ma'am.
good
When
way?
when I was
Cutting off social media.
cutting off social media is, I think, was a game changer during the final leg of my preparation because that is a period when many of my peers fell off. They were going on the right track, but something or the other happened and they fell off the right track and their results got messed up. I think that was a game changer for me during the final leg, cutting off from social media.
Okay. So, was there any peer pressure, family pressure? Because most of the times when students prepare for such competitive exams, there's so much pressure from their family, parents, friends. So, did you face any sort of pressure from your family or friends like that?
Ma'am, my family had no pressure on me whatsoever. They were very chilled out with my preparation. They were all like, if it happens, we'll be very happy for you. And even if it doesn't, we'll find some other way. Don't worry. So that took off a lot of stress. And also, as for the peer pressure from friends, I think that is under your control. You can choose to be affected by what people around you are doing, or you can choose to just focus on yourself and improving yourself. So initially, I used to be very dejected when I saw people around me getting mock scores in 80s and 90s while I was still stuck in 60s and 70s. But gradually, I realized rather than comparing me with them, I should start working on my shortcomings. And if when I started doing that, I realized that without even knowing, I was moving up the ranks, and there was no pressure on me whatsoever. So yeah, no pressure from family, and as for peer pressure, it worked positively for me.
You seem to be very mature from your age. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
So, sorry. So, Sakshim, I would like to ask five strategies, your five tips to the aspirants of CLAT 2026.
Okay, I'll try to keep them short, just on the top of my mind. No GK backlog is my strategy number one because trust me, that can make you cry towards the end of your preparation. No GK backlog. Second strategy would be focus on the weakest sections right from the beginning. Don't wait for them to improve on their own. Until you put in the effort, until you put in the hours, nothing is going to change about them. My third strategy would be mock scores are just a reflection of your preparation. They can be very high for you, they can be very low for you, but they are not a reflection of your final result. So don't let them get into your head, even if they are bad or good. Stay grounded in all such situations. Fourth tip would be once you have a guided plan cut out for you with the help of your teachers and mentors, stick to it. Trust it. You might feel like that your preparation is not working out for you. You might feel like, I don't know what I'm doing is right or not. Trust the process. It might feel like that sometimes, but in the end, it will all fall in place and it will work out. And my fifth and final strategy would be a very specific one. Don't increase the frequency of mocks if you can't manage to analyze them. Only increase mocks if you can manage to analyze them. You can give them adequate time after the mock test.
Thank you, Saksham, for the great five strategies for our aspirants of CLAT 2026. So, enough of this
Thank you.
talk. We'll talk about you. So, what was your reaction when you saw that you have got the AIR-1 in the CLAT 2025?
Just one word, unbelievable. It was unbelievable for me. After the exam, I was quite optimistic about the result that I'll be able to get into, I think, top five. Best case scenario was NLS Bangalore, but AIR-1 was nowhere within the radar. Obviously, no one expects AIR-1 because as you get up the ranks, the competition gets very minute. So
Minute.
yeah, it was very unbelievable for me, and I checked it twice or thrice to just to be sure that it is my result and All India rank is one. So that took some time to sink in.
Oh, congratulations on that, Saksham. So, we'll make
Thank
this
you, ma'am.
interview a little more interesting. I'll ask you rapid fire questions and you have to answer it. Okay,
Sure, ma'am.
so my first question is, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Now I'd go for Batman.
You'll go for Batman. Okay. And third question is, any lawyer which is your inspiration? Who is your inspiration?
Any lawyer that is my inspiration? Off the top of my mind, I'd go with J. Sai Deepak, a contemporary lawyer. He's my inspiration.
Sorry, can you be a little bit louder?
Ma'am, J. Sai Deepak. Among the
Okay.
current lot, J. Sai Deepak is a very big inspiration for me.
Okay. The next question, your favorite movie or TV series?
The recent movie I watched, 12 Fail.
That's good. We are done here. Thank you so much, Saksham, for joining us. It was really
Thank you,
great
ma'am.
to talk to you. Thank you so much for guiding the aspirants of CLAT 2026.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It was a pleasure for me to talk to you as well. And in the end, just I'd like to wish all the best to all the future CLAT aspirants. Trust in yourself, stay grounded, and you'll all do good.
Thank you so much, Saksham, for all the motivation you have given. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video till the end. I hope this interview has helped you to boost up your confidence, to improve your strategies. Do not forget to share this video with your fellow CLAT aspirants, and do like the video, do share your feedbacks in the comment sections, and to subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.